Okay, so I just made a video explaining how, you're never supposed to hurt people, not even if people ask you to. It is dysfunctional. I know people will argue that it's like a lifestyle and things like that. If anybody asks you to hurt them, or if you're inclined to hurt someone, that is dysfunctional, okay? You're not supposed to hurt anyone. That's where all of this, the LARPing and the role playing and stuff comes in. That's the alternative, or the cat ears, where the special core, like cat core, that's where that comes in. So that, instead of people veering towards, I need the attention, that's extreme attention, that is, negative and dysfunctional, I'd like to be hurt type of thing. Let's veer more towards well, no, let's take medicine that makes us happy, not maybe pharmaceuticals. Veer away from alcohol, let's be let's be 100% completely clear of alcohol in our life, because nothing good comes from alcohol. Everyone in my family died a terrible, tragic death, and it was because of alcohol. And then they missed out on each other on they weren't present for each other the way that they should have been when they loved each other so much. It's that's for another video though, right? So in the other video, this one goes out to, it goes out to everyone, but especially my sacred, males in general, my sacred males, my sacred gay and bisexual males, all right? And they get bad cred for being and this is such a lie, because some of the people that I know in my life that are in now people can get married, right? In marriage relationships are gay men, right? And they say bisexual men. It's just it's a stereotype though, that they can never have a sacred, holy relationship. They can never be in a relationship that's, I've just heard this and I know that it's untrue. So I'm just that's why I can't even really say it. There's no such thing as a sacred relationship between because bisexual males, they're always going to cheat. And that is true in my relationships. But the thing is, it's just so in the other video, as an ally to all of my sacred males, right? And then sacred females too. If you say to someone, okay, you have a beautiful asshole. In that video, I was kind of making fun of it in a way, but no, if you are in a sacred relationship, especially if you're a male, there really isn't much else to offer that is kind of mysterious. You know what I mean? Because it's just and I mean, I've even heard, the drag king key, right? Talking about even in biblically, and I've used this even arguments when we were discussing these kind of things with the teenagers that I used to have in the youth group, I'd be yes, absolutely, men are engineered to receive pleasure that way. It's just the way that they are, right? But it's not something that you give to everyone if you don't want to. So it's a taboo subject, and it seems all of people don't talk about it, but with I don't want to mention anything specifically, but even with women that were in roles, I'm not going to say any specific place, but let's just say there were women that I'm an ally to, that I am a fan of, the women in this, I guess it's not an organization, but in a, let's say a sex type of club, or what they start out with is doing pictorials, right? And then they're famous for doing pictorials, taking topless pictures and things like that. Well, and then it almost got into before they even knew it, it was they're into this thing where they're almost forced into having anal sex with so many people because it's expected of them. And of course drugs were involved. And but that's in that specific situation. All right? And it's just I understand, and I'm an ally to these women too, because many of these women are in that role because like not only is it fun because I was like a dancer myself. That's just dancing though, because we all know, especially like core and like yoga people, dancers, we are art. Like our bodies are art. We can be art and not be vulgar. But some of these girls that got themselves in this situation, they were very young. They're brilliant though, actually. And that's the thing that bothers me. And all these young men too, they're like giving it up like way too easily, not saving it for like a sacred sexual relationship that they deserve, regardless of like whatever they identify as their sexuality. So I have done anal sex like very sparingly. It shouldn't be something that's expected of you as a currency or like a transactional thing. And it shouldn't be something that you should give up lightly. I hope that I never have to like have it again just because I don't prefer it. And it seems like every male that I was in a relationship with, honestly, were bisexual and they wanted to try out gay sex things on me, possibly before they went and tried it out with men. So, a few times, and I was not hurt by it, you know why? If you are having anal sex with someone, right, you should not get torn up. Do not, like, have, like, a drug-fueled evening. Even with a friend of yours, it's like, well, you know, you owe me. And I said that in another video, too. You owe me. You owe me. Well, you know, maybe you, like, fucking had anal sex with your friend because he's like, well, yeah, like he wanted you to or something. And then like, you're not thinking it's transactional though. You're thinking, well, maybe like, you know, we had a few or like we fucking, like we did, you know, like we had some drugs or whatever. And now he's turning around and you're not thinking it's transactional. Like he wants to do it to you because maybe you're just like, testing the waters of your bisexuality as a sacred male, right? And you're not thinking it's transactional. He's going to come around and say, you owe me. You owe me. Well, you did me the other day. Now I get to do you. If that comes up, you have to say, well, make the decision whether or not you want to. But like in this instance, like this person like doesn't want to because like they're not sure of their bisexuality or they're not aware of this. They're not aware of like, but the thing is, it's not about like that person's pleasure though. It's about like this dick right here, high or drunk, saying you owe him because like, you know, this happens to so many sacred males. It happens to so many sacred males. There is not one male that is not sacred. There is not one female that is not sacred, and any of our people, far out and in between, each and every single one of you is sacred. If you have never heard it in your life, hear me today and like recognize this. So, this friend of mine, I've only did it like maybe 2 or 3 times in my life. Both guys are quite gay, I would say. You know what I mean? But like, it's not supposed to hurt. It didn't hurt. It gave me no pleasure whatsoever because I don't have like the same equipment inside of me that a sacred male has. It didn't give me pleasure, but they didn't tear me up. Do I want to do it again? No, honestly, I don't. And because like I'm a sacred female, I can always say no, and like, I really hope I don't have to. But this male, like, came home, like, and like I put 2 and 2 together, all right? The guy I was dating, like, he came home, and he's like, you know, Laura, like, I have hemorrhoids, like, I have really bad hemorrhoids. Can we go please and get some butt cream for me? And I'm like, well, that's really odd. Like, why? I'm like, okay, well, let me see, like, what I need to get you. Like, do you mind, like, showing me your butt? Like, and he's like, well, no. And his asshole was torn up. His asshole. And then it was after that, honestly, that, like, he wanted to try anal with me, like, for, like, the one time that we did it, which was, like, uneventful. He didn't think it was fun with me because, like, it's just, like, it doesn't do anything for me. And he basically almost said, well, I'm just going to get a guy to do this with now. Honestly. So, no, his butthole was torn up all the way up and down the sides of his butthole. I'm like, this looks like more severe than hemorrhoids. But we got him the right butt cream, right? And then that's when I was clued. I'm like, he's on the side and he's having. Obviously, someone just tore his asshole up last night. So, and I hate even saying that because it's not something that I ever wanted to do. And then the first time that I ever did, I think there's maybe like two times, maybe three times, like the first time that I ever did, it was with a particular gentleman I was dating or whatever. And he said I was in jail for like 7 years or 8 years and I never had sex in the butt with anyone. And this is like really personal to me because I don't want people to think that about me. And those particular women that I'm talking about that like are part of that like I guess it's like a sex club, like the pictorials, you know what females I'm talking about. Unless like you're in that circle, no one thinks of those females being like anal girls, right? And then I saw at the club that I worked at, where we were very classy, like way back in like 2005 to like 2005, 2006, 2007. I think even like almost into 2008, that's when I worked there. We had like a strict dress code and stuff. Like we weren't like, we always had to wear bottoms, right? Like I wasn't in like a full nude club. I just saw pictures where like, first of all, there's not supposed to be pictures because when I was working there, they would take your shit away from you like if you tried taking a picture of the girls. Now I see like, and I even called a representative in Wisconsin and said, and I called the police station like in that town. I called him. I said like, listen, I'm concerned. And I call him often. I call all my representatives often when things disturb me or when I think things need to be changed, right? I said, listen, I used to work at this club. When I worked there, like we had to be covered, like on certain areas. There were no pictures allowed. Like when I used to work there, and this was like, 15 years ago or something. Now I just saw like on Facebook, like not even like marked as like something that would be like adult. There was a female with like, and it's like, okay, well, what are you gonna do? Like, and that's like when I called the police station there, they're like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna like, you're calling us because like some strippers have their pussies out or whatever. And I'm like, well, honestly though, they're not supposed to have their pussies out right now. They're not supposed to have their pictures taken, and they're not supposed to have their fucking pussies out like on the floor. They're not. They're just not. Like, and that. Yeah, and like I can tell like when I call the police station, oh, they're in with the club. Like I'm sure they're like, oh no, we're cool. We know all the guys there. We're like, they're dirty cops. Like, and I don't think that the representative called them. I did though, and they're like, oh, what do you expect us to do? Like fucking close the place down because they're taking pictures of strippers with their pussies out? Actually, yeah, I'm asking you to close the club down because they're taking pictures of strippers with their pussies out. They're not supposed to have their pussies out. Fucking dirty cops piss me off. Nothing pisses me off more than someone that wears a uniform and they fucking don't uphold the law. That pisses me off. Anyway, so you're learning a lot about me. Yes, guys come out to me doing gay stuff like before they're gay. And then they usually come out and they always like they beat me. Like every guy that's ever like beat the shit out of me has an issue with like their mom or something, and like they will beat the shit out of me where like I have pictures of me. Well, if you see some of my mug shots, just blood running down my face. Like I went to yoga at school, well at Whitewater, like where I learned yoga to begin with before I went and had other teachers. Like I would go to class and I wouldn't see like the bruises as bad like in my bathroom, so I think I had different lighting. But I would go to class, I would have black, like purple, like you would think I was purple was my skin color. Like, and I didn't notice. But I would go to yoga like every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. Like and I got a C in that class. I was supposed to get an A, but I would always be like 3 or 4 minutes late. Not like extremely late, but late enough that I got graded a C instead. I would show up head to toe, just fucking like beat. Because the guy that and that's the same guy that said like I was in jail and like I'm not gay, so I didn't do gay stuff for like 8 years. Same guy like beat the shit out of me. There was not a day that I went to yoga that I wasn't purple. Let's just say it. You know it. So, what this is all about is please don't give anything about of yourself like to people that don't deserve it, right? This is just one more reminder to remind you that like no matter what you identify yourselves as, like what you identify your sexuality as, like if you feel like someone is not a safe person, if you have like that gut feeling that they are not a safe person, like you don't owe anyone an explanation. Get your ass up and run out the fucking door. You don't owe anybody anything. I don't care if like you're playing these fucking games like, oh, you're a big pimp or something, and like somebody fucking gives you money. Like, I'm just saying, first of all, no money should exchange hands for sex acts ever, all right? I'm just saying that. Why? Because like it just seems like I know there's someone in town here and she's a fucking hooker, and she's like somebody that's kind of like a people know, you know what I mean? And it's just like, and it's really sad because she's really smart and I'm not that person. That's not me. But it's just like, people know what people do. You know what I mean? So it's just like, that shouldn't be like, it is a big deal, though. Oh, that's the oldest profession. It's not a profession. That is dysfunctional. And it's just like, yeah, you're like, no, it's dysfunctional. Okay? It's dysfunctional. It's not a profession. So that, like, when people say it's the oldest profession, that's the biggest lie. It's the biggest lie because it is not a profession. Prostitution is not a profession. Everyone is meant to be in a sacred relationship, no matter what they identify as, no matter what their sexuality is. Everyone is meant to be in a sacred relationship. And people, like, they forget that. So I'm here to remind you today. And, like, no, I don't want to tell everybody in the world that I did that, But, I mean, if I don't want to tell anybody in the world really like that much about like, the sex that I have. Nobody really wants to hear the details, but some people need to hear the details. Just like why the reason I'm celibate now is because like the last 2 or 3, I think the last 2, one was kind of a gentleman, the other one's not a gentleman. He beat my face in because he is fluid, I'm sure. All right. You can just tell. It's like, find the strongest, like, female that's, like, kind to you and, like, just beat her fucking face in because, like, either you wish she was male or, like, you're just angry because, like, you're not, like, as put together as she is. But I'm like, listen, though, like, I want you to be put together like I am. I think you're interesting. Like, I want to hear the things that you have to say. Like, we have the same interests, but, like, they just have so much anger and they don't know what to do with it. It's like, go for a run then. Go for a run then. Like, don't fucking beat, like, someone's face in because, like, you see something in themselves that you see in yourself, but you're jealous of them and you don't, like, cultivate that part of yourself. That's all it is, too. Maybe this, like, no one's born a piece of shit. But you make the decision. Do you want to be a piece of shit? You control whether or not you're a piece of shit. Oh, no, it's my parents' fault that I'm a piece of shit. This is my parents' fault that I'm angry. Well, tell your parents to go to hell by being, like, a good human. They can't, like, fucking dictate the kind of human that you are if they're not around you, no matter how they raised you or how absent they were in your life, right? Anyway. Welp. Ah! Let's see, where's the picture of the kitty? Where do you see the picture of the kitty, kind of? Oh, there's that hat and part of the picture of the kitty. No, yeah, no, it bothers me at the club. I called my representative that I'm like a huge fan of, right? Because he really gets things done, like, in Congress or like in the Senate and stuff. And it's like and I was very upset. I was upset. It wasn't like a prank phone call. I was upset. Why? Because when I worked in the same place, we had to wear bottoms. We didn't get our picture taken. Like, there was a more strict code. And then I saw a picture of a girl on the floor with a thong on that, like, she shouldn't have had her picture taken, right? She shouldn't have had her picture taken in a thong that says anal slut. Anal slut. Like, when I was working at this place, they wouldn't have allowed us to wear something that said anal slut out on the floor. Why? Just because, like, it was just like a higher standard, It's like, oh, no, actually, seriously, though, I'm not gonna fucking work on the floor with a chick that has a thong that says anal slut. I'm just not. I'm gonna say, listen, sis, can you fucking put some cute panties on? Like, that like fucking aren't vulgar? Because, like, you're cute, right? Put something cute on. Like, fucking, that's kind of disgusting. And, like, let's be honest, most straight men aren't really looking for the butt. They're just not. They're just not. Be honest with yourself, straight men. Are you really looking for the butt that much, though? I'm just saying. So say what you feel. I'd really rather have sex with you vaginally because I'm straight. I like your cute butt, but I'd really rather not put my penis in your butt because I'm a straight male. Is it okay with you if we have vaginal sex tonight? And you shouldn't be having sex unless the person that you're having sex with is someone that you would be okay having a child with. Which brings me back to the story about my celibacy. The last two guys I had sex with lied to me and didn't wear a condom, and they tried to get me pregnant, on purpose. They tried to get me pregnant. In a sneaky way, because they don't know how to communicate with girls. And I'm like, you what? And then and then I don't and then I prayed that I prayed because I prayed at that time. I'm gonna pray still. There's different ways to pray though. Instead of praying God, I really don't want this baby, I hope I'm not pregnant. I say, God, I know that I'm fertile, I'm a fertile female. I know that there are females out there that have problems with their fertility. I'm not ready to have a child right now. I'm not ready to have a child with this male here that is trying to trick me to get me pregnant because they don't have confidence in themselves that they could date me. And that's the thing too. And I pray that my fertility is carried on to maybe someone else that has problems with their fertility, but that I'm not pregnant this time around. Until I know this person better, or until I'm in my sacred relationship that I know is right for me, where I want to have a child. So that was way back 5 years ago. I've been celibate. So I think what guys really want is, first of all, you got to be honest. What they really want is, and from the boys that I've talked to that come and hang out with me that don't have babies' moms, it's really hard out there to find a baby's mom. That's they're looking for wives. They're really looking for wives. So I mean, I don't even posting this, but it's just it's kind of weird with me because there's a handful of times I did that because the guy that I was with asked me nicely or whatever. But it shouldn't be like something that's just expected of you. You shouldn't give up anything of yourself like it's expected of you, like you owe someone. And I'll leave it at that for right now. We love our sacred males, all right? We love our sacred males. When I think of like friends of mine, like going and like being pressured and having their booties like torn up, I cry. I've cried tears, like hot tears, like for people that I love, beautiful people that don't understand what no is. Get the fuck out of there if they're being adamant or you don't feel safe. And it sounds like so dumb. Like, don't make fun of me for like making this video right now. They don't understand that getting up and leaving is an option. They don't understand. They're like, well, I don't want to, or, and like, I've been pressured so many times for like, cause I bought you dinner and shit. And like, that shit worked maybe 10 years ago on me. And I hate that. Yes, the you owe me thing, tell them to fuck off. Because just because they say it's true doesn't mean it's true. And yeah, like I've had people like kind of like they owe me, but what am I going to do? Like run after them and like fucking like, be aggressive and like do something to them that they don't want me to do? No, I'm not. And that's another thing. I'm not a gay or bisexual female. I'm just a very strong female. Okay? That sacred men feel safe with, right? And sacred women. And everyone far out in between, right? So, again, I'm glad we had this talk. Put in your mind today, I am sacred, all right? And also, I don't owe anyone anything. Especially, like... And like, yes, like I'm the person that gets screwed, like with that. I'm the person that gets screwed, but like in that thing. But it's just like, you know what though? In my heart though, no one does owe me anything. And so I'm just like, you know what? Like if I'm that, even if it's backwards, it's like if I'm that person that person tells no, and I'm like one of the only people that person ever tells no to, as backwards as that is, that means that this sacred person to me can say no to me, and they're practicing saying no, maybe to people that are unsavory people that are users and abusers. So I'm like, yeah, what am I going to do? I'll say, okay, well, no today. Well, I'll be on the mat then, and you can talk to me if you ever want to go out. Okay, tell me no today. Why? Because it's like, because like when that person was little, like people were aggressive and they didn't take like no for an answer. So it's like, yeah, of course it doesn't hurt my feelings that bad if you tell me no today. You know where I'll be, in the next room on the mat, if you ever change your mind. It makes me feel happy that you're exercising your power of no, because I'm a safe person that's not going to like pressure you or force myself on you even when you say no. All right. All right, I love everyone. I love everyone. Okay, oink, oink. We're going to oink, oink, and I'm going to moo. All right, moo. I look like I should be wearing a moo-moo. That's okay. Oink, oink, moo.